could have given up, but you didn't. You could have stopped believing, but you didn't. You could have kept living their expectations, but you decided to make this life your own. And in turn, you're here. Hello, everyone. Today we're meeting Olga Schmidt. She's the president of nonprofit Creative Society. And I want you to say hello. Hi, how are you? How are you doing? What's new today? Tell us.
Hi, Anna. So happy to be here with you. So great to meet you. Thank you so much for having me on, especially right before the holidays. It is such a festive time. So I'm so happy to be here with you.
Yes, and we also here to talk about the new organization that's been created, and this is something nobody knows, and that was also new for me. And everybody would be interested to learn what is it all about. So it's called Creative Society. And I want you to describe more in details what does it stand for and what is the vision for the organization to come?
Yes, thank you so much. So the Creative Society, it came about around 10 years ago. That is when volunteers from all over the world, knowing that there's a lot of issues going on in the world, started thinking, what kind of society do we all want to live in? How can we change this format from this consumer-oriented, where power and money is number one, to what we now call the creative society, where human life of each individual is number one. And so over the last decade, volunteers from over 180 countries were doing social surveys, interviews, podcasts, broadcasts, roundtables with people from all over the world and asking them, how do you want to live? How do you see this world in which you, your family, your loved ones, and all your friends will be happy? And then by analyzing all the answers, putting them together, the 8 pillars of the Creative Society came to, and that is how the project came together as well. It is, I would say, Creative Society is a model of society where human life is first, where the power belongs to the people and not a group of individuals as it is now. And it is a model of society for all people. That is why I'm so eager and I'm so proud, I would say, to talk about it today and also to share information about this amazing opportunity, the solution that we have today in order to better our lives and to actually, to change our society to the one where we'll all be happy.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And like you said, it's a new form or new model of society that it's going to be designed as a future way of living together. And we know that human life is important and it's valuable, but actually being living in that type of society where we sure that our life and rights are protected, it's something I think everybody would be, eager to learn more about. And if you can just, elaborate more on all of the pillars that would be included in that type of society design that we will have in the future. If you can just go over each one of them and let us know what exactly is the foundation of that type of form where it's possible to live in.
Sure. And the pillars are very important because the pillars actually represent the wants and the needs of all people. And like I said, from all those social surveys, we combined them, analyzed them, and this is how the pillars came to. And there are 8 pillars of the Creative Society. And the first one is, of course, human life. And I actually want to read it, at least this one, because to me, it's very important. Human life is the highest value. Life of any human has to be protected as one's own. The goal of society is to ensure and guarantee the value of each human's life. There is not and never can there be anything else more valuable than a human's life. If one human is valuable, then all people are valuable. And I feel like even today, we can see that in the format we live in today, the consumerist format, even this one pillar, it is not taking into account in many spheres. And then the other ones is human freedom, where every human is born with the right to be a human being, and the freedoms must not be violated. Human safety, no one and nothing in society has the right to create threats to the life and freedom of a human. And of course, the pillar goes on, guarantees economic stability, no inflation, no crisis, stable and same prices around the world, and so on. Then we have number 4 is transparency and openness of information. Just imagine if we have transparency and openness of all information, we wouldn't have any corruption. We wouldn't have, all the things will be open and available to us. And since in the creative society, each person is part of the society and the rights belong to people, we will be able to see where the funds are going, where, the money and the resources are going. And we will be the ones to make decisions. And it's open and transparent. Number 5 is the creative ideology, where ideology should be aimed at popularizing the best human qualities and stopping everything that is directed against the human. The main priority is the priority of humanity, high spiritual and moral aspirations of a human, humanness, virtue, mutual respect, and strengthening of friendship. Imagine if we just, even in just if we had a world where we talked about, guys, we're all friends. There is no divisions between people. We need to respect each other. We need to be mutually, we're all friends. How beautiful would the world be? Number 6 is development of personality, where every person in the creative society has the right to comprehensive development and personal fulfillment, where education is free, high quality, and accessible to all people anywhere in the world. Then we have number 7 is justice and equality. And number 8 is, I've talked already before, is self-governing society. So those are the 8 pillars. And if we implement these 8 pillars into our daily lives and we start living by these 8 pillars, have them in the Constitution, which is the goal, our society would change.
Yeah, and this is something new from what exists right now. Like you said, it will be no governing body in terms of certain groups of people, not talking about like politicians, certain political party in charge, and we will have everything ruled by society, by people. Is that correct?
At first, of course, there will be let's call him a politician that is a responsible person. So, for example, we elect John. John is the person that is responsible for doing what we want him to do, right? Because we are the people and we make decisions. If John is elected and John does not do what you and I and all the people want, we say, John, look, it's been a good run, but you need to go. And we elect the person that will do things that we need him to do, that will just implement our rights. So it is not a person that has power, let's say, it is a person that is responsible. He's responsible for his city, his town, his country, whatever it is. But as people, we have the right to take our votes back and elect someone else. And that's how it should be. What do we see today? We elect someone that tell us they're going to change our lives. Our lives will be better, right? And then we elect them. And then what happens? Nothing changes. Our lives are getting worse. The prices are getting higher. Economic collapse, climatic collapse, ecological collapse. I mean, we're talking about all kinds of crises and nothing is changing. So.
Yeah, and I want to know, like, what are the stages of implementing this type of new format that we may possibly live in, and where do you see it in terms of like the timeline? I don't know if right now is something that is already happening as we talk, or where do you see like in 3-5 years from now? If you can just tell us any approximate timeline that you would think it will take place for us to see the changes.
So, the most important stage is the first stage, and that's the stage we're in right now. It's the informational stage. It's the stage where we need to inform people about the Creative Society so that every single person needs to know that the solution exists. They can go on the website, on the main website. They can click the Join Us button. Why? Because again, as we said, Creative Society is a world for the people, where people are in charge. They no longer shift their responsibility onto someone else. They are the ones that take the responsibility for their lives onto themselves. And so the first stage that we're in now is the informational. Without people saying yes or no, nothing's going to happen. So right now we're informing everyone through social media, through word of mouth, through podcasts, broadcasts, TV shows. We hosted about 7 conferences, global conferences and forums on the Creative Society platform, where we talk about all the problems and the solution. We have amazing videos of how the future can look like for all people. And the most beautiful thing is all of this is done by volunteers. Not one person is paid, not one person is made to do anything that they want to do. Everything is on volunteer basis, on their free time. People do it in the evenings after they put the kids to bed, on lunchtime, in the morning, whoever can find time. And I'm talking millions of volunteers put all these conferences and forums together. If you watch it, they're amazing. You'll be like, oh my gosh, how was this possible? 250 languages, simultaneous translation. This forum was on November 12th. And so right now, like I said, we're in the informational stage. People need to know about the solution, and then they can decide whether or not they want the Creative Society or not. But right now, I also want to point out that right now we can see that this is the only solution that we have out of all the global crises that we're facing. And if you want to also know more about the problems that are going on in the world with the scientific data and mathematical models, you can also watch the forum that I was talking about, Global Crisis, Our Survival is Immunity. And then the second stage will be easy. It's the political stage. It's where we can form the, if there's already people over 50% in each country that say they want to build a Creative Society, then we can have some sort of elections. And the third one is the world referendum, where the entire humanity would say yes to the Creative Society. But those 2 stages, the last 2 stages are not really feasible without the first one, which is informing and people saying that this is what they want.
Yeah, so it will take some time for people to learn about it, to, like you said, check the forum, the website, and if they would like to join and be part of the movement, I would say they could just hit the join button, right? And learn more and get more news about it and just spread the word to others as well.
And in the time frame, it could be as fast or as long as we, the people, decide. So if we want to say, look, we need to change the world. We're tired of living like a hamster in the hamster wheel. We want to, have safety, security for our kids. We want to live in peace. We're tired of wars. We're tired of conflict. We're tired of corruption, of violence. We're tired of all this stuff. We need to have good healthcare, free, and good education. We need to have technologies that are already available, but not implemented, be used. And we can build it in 2 years if we want. If we all just spread this information, say, this is what we want, then this is, we can have it. So it all depends on the people, how fast it will be built. But I'm hoping that all the people will learn about it sooner than later, and we can truly, truly start living in this beautiful world, already in 2 years.
Oh, wow. Yeah, 2 years. It sounds like a short period of time, but a lot could happen. And with us knowing what's available, what are the solutions to solve those problems that we have in the world, it could be you know, the solution for the future for our kids, for generations to come. So we have to think about, not just us, but whoever is coming next, and what are the best tools that we can give them to live better quality of life. And like you mentioned, it will be free of corruption. Everything will be transparent. And with the new technology, it would be impossible to kind of like hide anything. Is that right?
Absolutely correct. There's so much technology out there right now where we can have everything is open and transparent. And, since we will be able to see where the funds are going, where the money is going, where, our resources are going, and it'll be amazing. We can say, I'll say, hey, Anna, do you need a new road on your street, or do you want a playground? And you will just go on the app and you will vote. It will only take for each person, it will take maybe a few minutes a week, let's say, but you can vote new road, a play structure, cleaning the ocean, or doing this, and each person would vote. And that's what's going to be done first. Open, transparent, no hiding, no corruption. How can it get any better?
Right. And like you said, we're going to eliminate violence, which is also, something that's happening all over the world. We see different type of wars, and it's like never ending. I guess it has to be, from the ground. We will have a different foundation in terms of human values, and whoever is not I guess on the same page with what's accepted in the society, meaning no negative kind of influence to other people, then that person had to change, right? So in this case, everybody has to adapt new way of living, meaning everything is beneficial for human life, including yourself. So we have to be aware of what are the values are we living by. And this is like the foundation for the better society to evolve.
Yes. And, I would say that we don't even need to adapt. I feel like we as humans want to live in peace. We don't want to fight with our neighbor. We don't think that, people in another country are bad or good. I feel like the media plays a big role in this separation. But if you ask the people in another country, hey, do you see us as enemy? They'll be like, no, we just want to live in peace. We don't want any wars, any conflict. We love you guys. We just want safety for our kids. We want to make sure that they can go outside and play. We want to make sure that we have enough money to feed them, enough money, for everything. That's it. People themselves do not start wars or conflicts. It is those that we put the responsibility on, that have nothing else to do, need more power or more resources or whatever else that they need. And then they start all these conflicts for us. But we, the people, don't want that. I mean, we have so many volunteers already in the Creative Society, participants from all over the world. We have millions of people, and they all say the same thing. And they don't want any wars. They don't look at anybody as an enemy. All people want the same thing. And, those surveys that we did throughout the 10 years showed it. It showed it that people love each other. We're creatures, they want to coexist. And that's how it should be. We should all be, united on the same basic human qualities. We're not saying that we need to unite our money and our things. No, we just need to be united on the basic principles. And I think not one normal person will say that this is a crazy idea and we can't do it,
Right, I agree. I mean, everybody wants the same thing, peace and freedom, and our rights to be protected, and just live in harmony with others, and prosper in the society where we know that everything is kind of for us, and nobody will do anything against our will, or some kind of representative or party would do anything that we would not agree upon. So we know that this is something that will be beneficial for all of us. So like you said, it's just based on the same principles, and everybody is, human beings. So we're all kind of united in the same way to live together in that type of society that is possible to build. But again, to implement that kind of change, we need to learn more. We need to be informed enough to make that decision. So again, like for people to choose, they need to know everything that's possibly on their mind. If any question, they could clarify that to make sure that's the right decision that they're making. But again, like you said, it's the solution to the global crisis, to the future of the next generation to come. So I would include the link to the website in the episode description for people to check out and learn for themselves. And I'm glad that we had that conversation. Thank you so much for joining us today. Is there anything else you would like to tell people as a last statement?
Thank you so much for having me on today. It is a pleasure to meet you. I would like to tell people you're absolutely correct. Everybody needs to do their own research. You have to find the benefit for yourself, because unless you find the benefit, how this will benefit you, you're not going to do anything. And so please do your own research. Please watch the international forum, Global Crisis, Our Survival is in Unity, it has life-saving information in it. You will see the crisis and you'll see the solution that the world will face in the near future. And also, I want to wish everyone a very, very happy new year. And, I hope that all your dreams, all your goals will be achieved in this new year. And let's build a beautiful world for ourselves and our children. Let's build the creative society together.
Beautiful. Happy New Year's to everybody, and we'll be in touch. Thank you so much, Olga, for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy your day.
Thank you. You too. Thank you.
Bye. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, hit the subscribe button and share it with others. Stay tuned.